All right, we are going to talk about Eden's temperament evaluation results. So here's her scorecard. And the first thing you need to understand is that it's not like low is not bad and high is not good. That's not how it works. It's just a spectrum. And you'll understand as we go along. So the first thing that you'll notice is I put the puppy into the testing area, and what I'm observing for is confidence. So I'm looking for whether or not their tail is high or low, whether they're exploring or they're awfully timid. And what I noticed is that her tail was high, and she was also happy to explore. She wasn't moving super quickly, but kind of just at her own pace, and she kind of keeps that confidence level throughout the testing. So medium confidence. She was willing to try all the things and had a little bit of caution here and there, but for the most part, nothing really threw her off course. So, and confidence is also one of those adjustable traits that we should all be building into our dogs. And the next thing you notice that we're looking for is human assertiveness. So you'll see me getting into the testing area, and then I sit and I just wait to see how she approaches. So a low assertive dog would either army crawl over, or they might not even approach, or they might sit next to you. And a high assertive dog would be right up in your face, just no personal boundaries. And she very politely crawls into my lap and kind of looks at me and looks wondering what's next. Motivation level. So this can be known as like trainability, workability, their willingness to please humans. And so she scored a medium for that. She was very happy to do the things that I asked, try things, and then she would kind of get distracted doing her own thing. And then she would come back and check in. And what you see also through the testing, the evaluation, that she does continually come to check into me. And so we're going to talk about that human focus later on. Nerve strength and resiliency. So this is a dog's ability to handle stress. How do they handle a new situation? And what were signs of stress in a puppy or a dog is shaking, yawning, lip smacking. They get whale eyes, sneezing. And I didn't see any of that from her. She was cool as a cucumber. There was nothing that seemed like it made her nervous. She was not shaking. She just took everything with stride. So what that looks like is a dog that can handle new situations. They can handle meeting new people. They can handle new environments and take it with stride. Touch tolerance. So this is not how much the dog enjoys it, but how tolerant they are of touch. And she scored a high anyways. She was very tolerant of handling, and I do notice that on a day-to-day basis with her as well. She really enjoys her puppy massages. She enjoys that handling. And what we're looking for in tolerance is, if you think of a vet visit or grooming visits, is how tolerant are they going to be handled when somebody's maneuvering their hips and their feet and whatnot. Is the dog tolerant of that? And I think she's going to be great. But that is something that I encourage all families to continue on with their dogs. Energy level. I gave her a medium. She wasn't sitting, and she didn't take any like rest breaks where she laid down, but she wasn't running circles the whole time. So she had faster paces where she would play and check things out, and then other times she would walk about, sniffing things, checking things out. So I think she's going to be very happy to either go for that long walk if you want, or be happy with mental stimulation, and that's going to tire her out just as much. And then she's going to be happy to be your couch potato after that and settling in for a cuddle or a quieter afternoon. Whereas a higher energy dog, if their energy needs are not met, or their mental stimulation needs are not met, those are the dogs that if you don't give them a job, they will find their own job, and you probably won't like it. I don't think that'll be the case with Eden. I think she'll be very happy, middle of the road, keep up with family activities, but also be able to expend that energy fairly quickly. Sound and sight sensitivity. So what you'll notice is for sound sensitivity, I kind of shake the popper and I see if they startle or not. And I don't care if they startle or notice. What I'm looking for is how quickly do they recover. And for sight sensitivity, I use the umbrella and we kind of pop it and see if they notice or startle at all. And she did not even notice either one of them. So she scored a low. She's not sensitive. And these are the puppies that we consider bomb-proof, basically. If you've heard that term before, they can handle loud sounds. They can handle quick movements. These are typically not the dogs that are barking at the leaf that's blowing through the yard or the car. Every person that passes by the front window. Those would be a more highly sensitive dog. Prey drive. She enjoyed some chase with the toys, but she lost interest very quickly. So I did score her a medium because she would engage with the toys, but it was definitely on the lower side. So definitely not intense. So she would do really well with a house that has young kids, whether they have other animals, maybe a cat or something. I think she would do really well in those situations. I think she'll still be fun when it comes to playing with toys. She may or may not want to enjoy a good game of fetch because that prey drive is not quite as strong. But she does eventually engage with those toys, but it's probably going to be more manageable as opposed to a dog that has a high intense prey drive. Human focused, high. She really likes her people. Even when I'm sitting in the box with all of the puppies, she's always like in my lap and gazing into my eyes. She's very much looking for that person to be sitting next to. And even through the testing, you notice that she continually comes back to check in on me if she wanders very far anyways. Tenderheartedness. So she was a little bit interesting on this one. So I scored her a high because she did seem to handle it well. But what you actually notice is when I'm laying on the floor and I'm pretending to cry, she actually goes away. Commonly with a highly tenderhearted dog, they come and they are right up in your face and they're kissing you and they don't leave you. And then she kind of when they're extreme, they kind of cry and run the other way. Where she was not put off, but she definitely found space and she observed me from a distance. And then eventually she came over to investigate. So I don't think she's quite on the extreme side. I do think she has a soft heart. And I think she's very much going to care about her people. And that goes hand in hand with her human focus. So these are the dogs that, when their owner said that they were sick on the couch for a week and the dog never left their side. I do think that will likely be her. I think she's going to care very much about her people and their feelings and their emotions. On the other hand, this is perhaps the situation where if the home is experiencing a lot of anxiety or depression or big emotions from young kids or extreme emotions, even from the adults in the home, this may be a situation where she would benefit from a stronger, more confident leader and maybe doesn't have quite this swing of emotions. Because, for example, with someone with depression, they have a day where they can't get off the couch and then the dog kind of melts into their feelings and they take those burdens upon themselves, and now you have a dog with anxiety living with a person with anxiety, as opposed to someone who maybe physically is maybe not 100%. That's different. I think that those aren't the emotions that the dog is carrying. That's very much where the tenderheartedness would be a benefit, and they would kind of be that companion. But yes, definitely ask if you have questions further about that one. And then dog friendliness, I scored her a neutral. It's kind of a hard gauge because the stuffy, they know it's not real very quickly. And I scored her neutral because she doesn't really engage in it, and she doesn't really, she just kind of ignored the stuffy dog. But what I do notice in the home with our other dogs is she's very happy to play with the other dogs, and so I do think that she would be totally fine whether there is another dog in the home or not. And then of course we always just want to be matching to other dog personalities in the home as well. I think she would be very great if the other dog in the home was assertive or they weren't. And if you're looking for more of a play mate, it might be beneficial if the other dog does have a little bit more assertiveness, may pull that play out of her. Otherwise, she very much probably would be happy to coexist as well with a senior dog, for example. I don't think that she's going to be fazed by that much. But if you have any questions about Eden, you can let me know.